excited to talk about this, and you were the first person that came to mind. I love your pop culture coverage. I've been following you for a long time, and it's just been, I feel like, kindred spirits. I love to watch it. I love to see it. So when all this started kicking off with this reality reckoning, I was like, I need to get Kiki on the line to unpack all of this. What does it mean? Who are the people involved? Why are they involved? So for anyone maybe who's not familiar, but maybe has seen the headlines or heard the phrase reality reckoning, like, what is going on? Where did this kind of movement, I was about to do inverted commas there again, but maybe I won't, because that's maybe trivializing it. Maybe not. We'll get into it. But where did this movement start, and what is it?
I think, Bethany Frankel from, New York Housewives is the one that kind of like put the biggest face to it. But I think it had been brewing a while in, from what I hear from people who are in the industry. This had been something that a lot of the reality stars and people behind the scenes had been talking about for a while. But essentially, with all of the, writer's strike happening and the actor strike happening, I think it was like sort of the time to strike while it was hot, because reality stars just really do not have any protections in the industry. And I mean, that's sort of what makes reality TV so great, right? Because it's so easy to produce, cheap to produce, and can just be done on the fly. And that is why, studios love it. But at the same time, because of that, there's just really no protections, not only for the reality stars, but the people behind the scene, the story producers, the crew, all the people who put it together. A lot of those are, freelance contractors, and they just don't get a lot of the same rights as you might in a union.
Who is Bethany Frankel, for anyone who doesn't know, and why do you think she's leading the charge for this particular subsection of reality stars kind of rowing back against the industry?
I think Bethany Frankel is, when she was introduced to us on Real Housewives of New York, she was sort of, I guess, what we would consider our first, quote, poor housewife, where we had all of these rich New York housewives. She was the single one that was living in like a small apartment and just trying to make it. She was, out at grocery stores trying to peddle her different food products. But then she turned around to become the probably richest housewife in history because, think what you want about Bethany. She could be shrewd, she could be rude, she could be loud. She is clearly a good businesswoman. So she sold her liquor company and she's gone on to do other things. And so now she sort of like, is biting the hand that feeds her. I think a lot of people see that as like, you got your start on reality television and now you are, basically trying to take it down because you're saying, all of these people aren't protected. But people are like, but you were also a really mean housewife. You weren't protecting your castmates either. So it's kind of like, I think it's interesting that she's leading the charge. But look, I mean, if anyone knows the most about the industry, it would be Bethany.
That's true. That's very true. What is it specifically that she's asking for then? And like, who is she approaching in terms of wanting to kickstart this change for reality stars?
I think a lot of people are a bit confused and they think that Bethany Frankel herself is suing Bravo, suing NBC and leading this. It's not her specifically that is suing. What it is that, she just, made a viral video that talked about, these are the things that are wrong with the industry. And then she does have, a legal team that then sent letters to NBC Bravo addressing them. So she's not necessarily part of the suit, at least not yet, but she's the one that really connected this legal team and said, like, my legal team is going to be the one pursuing that. So, they sent off this letter to NBC essentially saying the day of reckoning is here. And, this is what we're looking to get from you. We feel like there's been mental, physical, emotional abuse happening for years. And we are putting you on notice that we might sue you because there's not a suit yet. They're saying we're putting you on notice that we might sue you. So retain all your records. Don't delete any footage. Don't shred any documents. retain everything. And then what we're also asking you is that you release your stars and your crew from NDA. So a non-disclosure agreement is typical in this industry, to keep things confidential. And they're saying that a lot of these NDAs, the legal team is saying they're illegal because there are illegal things happening behind the scenes. By you silencing people, that's illegal. So we want you to release. Now, NBC turned around and said, we of course would never prevent anyone from speaking about their experience if it was illegal. So, our NDAs are meant to protect our storylines only, and that's it. So if anyone has a beef, they have a right to talk to you. And that's sort of where we kind of ended it. So we haven't heard much from Bethany, because I think right now we're just sort of at a stalemate. Now, Bethany says that she has spoken to 80 reality stars that she has spoken to who are willing to join this suit at any time. Now, none of them have been named. We've been making guesses just based on our history with watching reality TV, who it might be, but we don't know.